Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of DevTalk with Brian Parks. I'm excited about this particular topic, even though it's kind of a little bit different from the last few topics. The last few topics have been a little more technical in nature. But for this one, I wanted to talk more generally about social media. I've been watching a couple videos and reading some things online that were really interesting to me. Different people's perspectives on how social media was going to change and how social media was going to be a big factor, especially in the situation that we're in right now. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk a little bit about the channel. Partially to do research for this particular episode, and partially because I thought it might be a good way if you want to support the channel. I set up a page on Patreon, so if you go to patreon.com/devtalk, you can support the channel if you want to. I also learned some new things about Patreon as a platform. I never actually looked into that, so that was pretty cool. So now I can see what a lot of these, especially YouTube creators, it seems to be pretty popular with them, are using Patreon for, and how that works. So that was pretty cool. It also really helps me out if you share this video, share this link, and every Monday I'm going live, so every time I post the link to the new the next live stream, share that with your friends, your colleagues, anyone you think might be interested in either the channel as a whole or the specific topic that I'm going to be talking about. So yeah, that would really help, and of course, give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share it, all that good stuff, and feel free to comment on old videos. If I didn't answer a question that you really wanted to, if you were on the live stream, you would have asked, comment on the video. I'll definitely respond to those comments, answer them. A lot of them they might just be my opinions. If I think there's somewhere else that you should look for more information, I'll definitely let you know. But yeah, comment on old videos, comment on this video. If you're watching this after the live stream and you didn't get a chance to ask a question in the chat, then comment on the video and I'll answer it. Or depending on how broad the topic is, it might form a topic for future videos. So yeah, I'm really excited about what I'm doing with this channel and the way that it's going. So with that, let's get into today's topic, which is life in the era of social media. So social media certainly isn't a new thing. YouTube's been around for a while. Obviously, we know Facebook, and before that there was MySpace. Let's see, Google Plus, all the ones that we remember from the past. Obviously, Google Plus isn't around anymore. MySpace isn't really around anymore. They've reinvented themselves. So the ones that we can really think of are things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Apparently, Meetup is considered a social media network. That was kind of a new thing to me, that they describe themselves as a social network. I guess it kind of makes sense because it's an online platform, but I think of it more as the term used to be groupware. Basically, all of you probably know what Meetup is. Organize meetings around specific topics and then meet in person. Obviously now most of them are online, which is actually pretty cool that they've been able to pivot. And some social media news, Meetup is now, I think as of today, back to being their own thing. For a while they were part of WeWork. WeWork bought them, and now they spun off and now they're their own thing again. So that's actually pretty cool, and I'm excited to see where they go now that they're kind of completely independent from where WeWork is going, which, who knows where WeWork is going. But anyway, that's not talking about social media. So social media, obviously there are some benefits, there's some drawbacks. Some of the benefits that I see are, especially in a time like this, we can actually still communicate with each other, share our ideas with each other, and kind of, I don't know, especially with YouTube, I feel like the the people who I follow on YouTube, I might have a slightly different experience because I don't watch YouTube on my computer. I don't usually watch YouTube on my phone. I actually use Chromecast and cast it to my TV. But I feel like these people, these content creators, are in my living room, and I feel a kind of a more personal connection to them than I do to actors on a TV show, or even hosts on a news show or something like that. You know, the anchors. There's just something different about the YouTube format that makes them feel like they're right there, and maybe it's just because I know they're normal people talking about things that are completely authentic. They're not some overproduced show, but it's it's them. There's nothing else. Obviously I don't put makeup on. I don't have fancy lights. It's just me doing these videos. So I think there's a little bit more of a personal aspect to it. It's a little more authentic. So in that respect, I think it's good. And maybe to a certain extent that exists on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. But obviously each platform has its own aspects to it. So I do think that in some cases Facebook, it might still be good for communicating and connecting with family and friends, people you went to high school with, people you went to college with, that sort of thing, kind of its roots, where it came from, the school aspect. But I do think it has kind of turned into a lot of the political soapbox platform, which is maybe one of the negatives. Personally, I don't go on Facebook all that much because I don't have anything to post on Facebook really, and the things that people tend to post on Facebook, I don't really have any interest in. I mean, if you have a kid and you post pictures of them on Facebook, I'm excited for you. I'm not saying that that's bad, but that's not really, I don't feel the need to go out of my way to go look at pictures of people's kids. I have coworkers and they, their kids do weird things and they show me pictures of their kids doing things, but that's more in the context of a story, and I'm more connecting with them as a person, and I don't really feel like I get that from Facebook. Twitter, it seems really rapid fire, and it feels almost like as soon as a tweet comes out, it gets buried by everything else. So, I don't have that much time to spend looking at Twitter during the day, so I don't really have any interest in looking at a feed or anything like that. I think these days it is helpful when municipalities, states, that sort of thing, are posting regular updates about the COVID-19 situation in their specific area. It's really cool to see kind of those updated statuses, and various other sites that kind of aggregate all these numbers can kind of link to those, and those can be the sources for those updates. So I think that's a good use of Twitter. Whereas, back when I was doing some social media marketing stuff, I felt like Twitter it was just a mass of stuff, and it wasn't really all that valuable, and it just, I don't know, it didn't really do anything for me. Instagram is one that I haven't really quite figured out how to use. Instagram is cool. I really like, actually a lot of the people I follow on YouTube also have Instagram feeds that I follow. So they post pictures of kind of what they're doing, even maybe more frequently than the videos that they post, because taking a picture and posting it on Instagram is a lot quicker. Obviously you have to edit a video unless you're doing a live thing, which is one of the reasons I like doing the live things, because editing is not one of my strong suits. But you can take a picture, you can post it to Instagram, talk about what you're doing, talk about some of the videos you might be posting in the future, or if you do something that really isn't video worthy, but it is picture worthy, you can post that to Instagram. That's cool. I'd really like that from Instagram. Let's see, what else? Oh, there's LinkedIn. LinkedIn is kind of, I guess, if I had to pick a social network that was my social network of choice, it would be LinkedIn. I do think, depending on who you're following and who the person is, it can kind of turn into, it can approach what Facebook is, and maybe that's not as valuable. but the more professional inclination of LinkedIn really appeals to me. And since my passion is for education, collaboration, building up that kind of professional aspect of things, LinkedIn really appeals to me. And that's why I post the notifications about these live streams on LinkedIn. I posted the last one on Facebook, but I don't think anyone came from Facebook. So LinkedIn, some Slack networks, I guess you can lump them in with social media. But yeah, so I think there's some value there. Different social networks have different appeals at different value. So now, one of the things that's been talked about a lot over the past couple weeks especially is where social media is going. And some people have pointed out that it seems like there are a lot more content creators, and there are going to be a lot more content creators because there are a lot more people watching. Sure, there's Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, all those platforms. But there are a lot more people with a lot more time available to watch and consume content. And my personal kind of soapbox on that is, since you have the time, I would recommend consuming content that builds you up in some way. Positive content, maybe educational content, something that you can, you have the opportunity to, learn and make yourself better. So why not take advantage of it? By the same token, don't burn out. Obviously this is a stressful time, so I don't want you to, feel obligated to work all the time, especially since for a lot of people, a physical commute to the office has been kind of a way to decompress and kind of separate that work-life balance out. So commute to the office, take a break, and then when you get to the office, you're in work mode. Commute home, have a way to decompress, and then you get a chance to kind of switch to home mode after that. So that's cool. But without that physical commute, you end up with you want to defend your time and make sure that you're keeping your time segmented the way that you feel is appropriate for what you're doing, so you don't burn out. But at the same time, balance your entertainment content consumption versus educational content consumption. So that was a long-winded way of saying, watch more YouTube. YouTube is good. So there's a lot more content creators. There's a lot more people watching, but there are also a lot more people with free time to build more content. So obviously I started a couple weeks ago. I didn't start a couple weeks ago because I had extra free time because of this, but I did. It just kind of, the timing worked out that way. I canceled a meetup. The first one of these was on a Thursday. I canceled a meetup, so I decided to post something live, host a live Q&A, and that's kind of where this channel started. I think there are more people consuming content. There are going to be more people producing content. Some people are concerned that it'll kind of make it a little more competitive, but that the result of that will be that the better content will kind of survive, and we'll end up with more better content. All that to say, those likes and those subscriptions are absolutely the currency of YouTube. So if you really enjoy a video, definitely hit that like button. I know I'm not so good about that because I watch on the TV and the like buttons aren't all that accessible. But if you like a video, hit the like button. If you like a channel, subscribe to the channel. Even if you don't watch the videos all the time, definitely subscribe to the channel. So I think that's kind of everything that I wanted to talk about. I'm definitely open to questions. I don't see any in the chat right now, but I'll stay on for a couple minutes, and if some questions pop up, I'll answer them. And if you're catching this after the original recording, definitely post a comment below and ask your question. and I'll either respond to the comment right there in the comments thread, or I'll do a whole video about your question. So yeah, let me know. Yeah, so it looks like we're kind of good for the evening. So just a reminder, every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, I go live on this channel. And I usually post the link to the upcoming video on Monday mornings on LinkedIn, and I'll probably do Facebook again, and maybe I'll post it a couple other places. But please don't hesitate to send this around to your friends, your colleagues, anyone you think might be interested. I really want this to be a channel for you guys. I don't really want to be just talking about my opinions and come up with topics that just interest me. So if there's something you want me to talk about, let me know. And definitely it can be more of a Q&A sort of thing. So obviously I'm happy to share my opinion, but post a question, post a comment in the chat, and I'll talk about it. I'll respond to it. I'll read your question or comment on the video, and then spark a discussion, and we'll do it that way. So yeah. Let me know what you want to hear me talk about next, and I'll see you all next Monday. Have a great week.